Okay, welcome back. Part 3, Helicycle Electrical, Kentucky Helicycle. This video is going to wrap up my electrical, what I'm showing about it anyway. It's very involved, and of course I could probably make about 6 or 7 videos out of it, just with the details and the things that go into it, and the little creative things that I tried to do with it to make it better, and so on. But anyway, we'll limit it to 3, and this is the third one that will look at the kind of the final product, so to speak, of what I came up with, and kind of walk you through a few little things. And then this one we'll listen to the engine start or rev up. I won't actually start it. So anyway, having said that, I want to give a shout out to the okayest engineer, guy up in Columbus or near Columbus, Ohio. Graduate from the Ohio State University. Anyway, he is building a mosquito and has a great YouTube channel and is building up a following of people. Go over and check him out. It's very interesting stuff. He's a really smart guy, knows what he's doing. He's going to probably have one of the better mosquitoes out there when he gets done with it. Having said that, give him a shout and see what you think about his stuff. There's another guy out there I'd like to sort of give a shout out to, and that's Ben Dixie over in England. Ben is quite a guy building this like a gyroplane. I'm not really sure exactly what he calls that. It's a helicopter. It's just a twin rotor thing that are stacked on top of each other. It's clear I don't know what I'm talking about, but Ben does. Check out Ben's stuff. The guy is a whiz bang. Mathematician, engineer type, building this thing and customizing it and fabricating and refabricating and all of this. I've been watching Ben's channel for a while. Hope to visit Ben in England sometime, which is where my daughter lives. Anyway, shout out to Ben. There's a lot of guys out there, and eventually I'd like to just plug them all into one thing here where we could showcase these guys. Might do that. Might make a video just showcasing that kind of thing. Anyway, off we go. Part 3, Helicycle Electrical. What do you think? It's coming along pretty good. Really, a lot of this is just building up to being able to start the engine and know that when the engine is running, that all of your gauges are performing well, and that you're getting proper readings and fuel flow, exhaust temperature, and of course your oil pressure, oil temperature, transmission temperature, all of those things. So I really haven't been able to test that piece of it yet. But meanwhile, I think here next I'm going to demonstrate for you the start sequence and and just hit it so you can hear the engine turn over. Okay, let's look at this. If we were really going to start this engine, we would begin with our fuel on over here and start over here with this test switch. So this is my auxiliary battery. I want to make sure I have enough power in this battery to kind of last the duration of my flight. So I want to start with a little bit above 13 volts, which I have. It's looking good. And now I want to turn my auxiliary battery on. Now, nothing really happens except at this point, this will send a signal to the governor. It sends power to the governor as a backup. So you will, if you're over here, I don't think you heard it, but I will hear this engage on the engine over here. There's a little, it toggles a little sensor over here. So I've got power now to the governor. So then the next thing is going to be the main power, and that is this guy here. If you listen, you'll hear the son alert. So the son alert is there just to let everybody know if anybody's around. Hey, boom, this thing's doing something. It's going to start. So the main power comes on, and I get a light right here. So because mine is activated in the cabin, this way I know I do have it. The son alert kind of lets me know my power's on, and I'm good. So now I have electrical power on both batteries. So the next thing I want to do is get some instruments here. So all of these instruments that I've demonstrated are on the auxiliary battery. That way when I go to start this, I don't have any drag on this electrical system with these instruments, including the turbine counter. It's all on the auxiliary battery, and so when I go to start it, I'm not robbing from the main battery to try to run these gauges. So I'm told that's a good way to do this. So I've got it set up that way, and now all my gauges are ready to go and they're lit up. So make sure I'm not forgetting something here. So that being said, I can turn my attention to my fuel pump and these switches here. So we got gauges. I'll turn this on. You should be able to hear that. Normally that would just stay on as we start. I'm not leaving it on for this demo. I would turn my main governor switch on, which this is the governor running off of the main battery, which is really what you want. Auxiliary is the backup. So we've got the governor on. I won't turn my alternator switch on yet, but I will turn on the main fuel solenoid. Once you hear the engine turn over, you'll get a poof sound. Then you'll turn this on, and it'll go ahead and fire up that main fuel solenoid and give you this operating fuel. So, but for demo purposes, none of those switches will be on, but we would toggle through those for start purposes. Now, another thing is that as these switches come on, they can all be on, and you can hit the start button over here, you won't get anything. You have to have the start button on here, and so I have that signaled here that when this is on over here, I know my start circuit is active. It's just a way of letting me know that. And so now we're ready to start it, and ordinarily you would depress these two buttons, synchronize that to where you're pressing these basically at the same time. For demo purposes, I want you to hear the igniter. I hope you can hear that, but that activates the start fuel solenoid as well as the igniter switch. But for the purpose of the demo here, the next thing you would get is the starter. You can't really see it, but the turbine now is going to count it up, and you start to get your sequence playing out on the main rotor gauge, and you can continue this until it gets into a start. Eventually the governor will take over and rev this thing up for you. Well, that's basically it. This whole electrical thing, a lot of it is geared toward this process of starting the engine and getting the engine running, as well as keeping it running. And then of course once it starts up, you've got all these gauges to tell you what to look for, and you got to watch them. Then your fuel flow will kick in, and you'll start getting a fuel flow reading out of it, the whole deal. This next thing after that would be your clutch operation to get your rotor engaged. That is this other part of this system down here, which I'll make a separate video on probably about the time I actually get the rotor in place. And right now, as far as that goes, I have the rotor hub fully assembled. It's been on the main transmission mast and then removed. They don't want it on there when they do the final, so I took it back off. But I can demo that at another time. Meanwhile, thank you for watching my video, and I really like your comments if you have them, and just chime in and say hey or whatever, tell me where you're from, things of that nature. It's a lot of fun to interact with the people who will chime in. Otherwise, thank you for watching my video, and I'll have some more of these coming real soon on different stuff. Take care.